Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to come together in our beautiful city of Dearborn to be amongst a community built on strong relationships, shared values, and people who are committed to serving others. Nobody can hear me, right? Okay, so should I yell? All right, we'll begin by thanking our hosts, Sheikher Aoun and Ali Jawad. Round of applause. Who saw the importance of gathering us to recognize a man who has dedicated his career to public service and keeping our city safe, our very own Dearborn Police Chief Issa Shahin. He's not just leading the police department with excellence, he's redefining what modern community-focused policing looks like. He is giving all his energy to building trust, increasing transparency, and ensuring that every resident of every neighborhood feels protected and respected. His leadership continues to strengthen the relationship between law enforcement and the people they serve, and his vision is shaping the future of policing in the city of Dearborn. We have with us tonight a few guests who want to share their thoughts and appreciation for our chief and his impact on our community, starting with the man who's been telling our stories for decades, the one and only publisher of the Arab American News, Usama Siblani.
I'm afraid that you are not going to be able to hear me. Good evening. Good evening. Good. Well, looking around, I think it is the safest place in Dearborn, don't you think? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen outside. All the judges and the police are here, so you are in good hands. Thank you, Your Honor, Rula. And thank you, Sheikher and Ali, Sheikher Aoun and Ali Jawad, the fathers in our community. And thank you all for coming out on a rainy evening to join us in this important occasion. Tonight, we gather to honor a true leader and a true public servant. As all you know, we live in an era where it is refreshing when you see a true public servant like our honoree this evening, the Chief of Police, Issa Shahin. Chief Shahin is a perfect example of such a leader, and that's why we are here tonight to say to him, thank you for your services, and we would like you to continue to do the same. I have been active in this community, as you know, and in this town for the last 40 years. And I used to pass by the police department, and during the demonstrations and the gathering that we used to do, to protest the onslaught in Gaza and in Lebanon and the wars. And we used to look at the police and at the city hall differently. We used to look at them, frankly, with all my due respect to the police force that they're here today, to be honest and truthful, we used to look at them as an occupation force. That's how they used to deal with us, and that's how we used to look at them. Until recently, when Shahin took the police chiefhood and his rank and file, who are here tonight and those who are at service, changed the narratives and the look how we see our police in Dearborn and our city in Dearborn. So for that, I would like to say thank you for all of you who are here wearing the uniform. You are our brothers and sisters. And it's always the leader that makes everyone looks good. And that's why we have a city that looks good, because we have a great leader like Abdullah Hamoud as the mayor. Finally, I wanted to say something to Issa Shahin, that I've always seen you in action, always watched you. And you know what? I've always respected you, and I love you like everybody else in this community. Thank you for making us safe and making our city a welcoming place for everyone. God bless you.
Thank you, Osama. Okay, next, let's welcome Deputy County Executive Asad Turfi, a lifelong public servant who spent the majority of his career in law enforcement prior to serving as Deputy County Executive. He's here today with a deep appreciation for the work Chief Shahin has done and continues to do. Welcome, Asad Turfi.
Thank you, Rolla. So I thought about sharing this story. I wasn't sure if I want to tell it, but I figured I'm up here, so I might as well go ahead and say it. So Issa doesn't remember this, but when he was a rookie cop, he had to have been like 1 or 2 years on the force. I just walked up to him and asked him how many years he's got with the force, because he's got 27. And I got 22 with Wayne County. So that would have put me around the time I was in the 10th grade. Issa was either his first year or second year on the force here. Yeah. So like typical menace kids in the neighborhood, around Halloween time, we would grab some cartons of eggs, and unfortunately, we would do what kids do, right? We would egg some homes. And I got stopped. We did it every weekend. Every Friday, we would go out. Every Saturday with the kids in the neighborhoods, we would do this. And one day, we seen the cops coming, but we had the eggs in our pockets. And they were stashed in our pockets, And Issa pulls up with a couple of his colleagues, and he says, "What are you doing?" I say, "We're going to my friend's house." One of our friends, we lived on Hartwell. A friend of ours lived on Appeline. We're going to his house. He goes, "Are you guys out here egging homes?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "Put your hands up." I put my hands up. He felt in my pockets, and he broke every egg in my pocket. Okay. And I don't know if you remember that, but I do. But what he did in that moment is he didn't lock us up. He didn't arrest us. He didn't do these things. He taught us a lesson, because when I went home, my mom had to wash my jacket, and she beat my ass. So I share that because when you're in leadership, and I think today, one quality that's sometimes overlooked for people in leadership is we overlook the quality of being compassionate and caring. And I believe you cannot be a great leader and you cannot be a strong leader unless you're compassionate and caring. Now, in that moment, 27 years ago, Issa seen a moment to be compassionate and caring where he could fix a problem without locking somebody up at a young age and maybe possibly preventing them from being the deputy county executive one day. So with that and my background, if I would have got stopped and had that arrest, I probably would have never joined the sheriff's office. So I thank you for giving me some grace and some mercy in that opportunity to be able to continue to move on. But Issa has done a tremendous job as being a leader in this community. The mayor just reported some of the largest drop in crime in the history of the city of Dearborn. That would not have happened. That would not have happened if Issa Shahin was the chief, but the person that made Issa Shahin chief was the mayor of the city of Dearborn, Abdullah Hamoud. And the definition of a good leader is the leaders that they surround themselves with. And Abdullah, you've done a hell of a job being the mayor of the city of Dearborn. We're looking for 4 more years, and inshallah, you'll be victorious come August and in November. And Issa, you're doing a tremendous job. I have a proclamation here. Is Sam Beydoun here? Sam insisted I bring a proclamation because he wanted one from us, because we always joke about he brings proclamations. So we brought one from the county executive's office. And I want to thank the men and women in blue, because that lower crime wouldn't have happened if you guys weren't out there busting your butt every single day to make it work, because it's not easy to reduce crime. And those that understand get it. Thank you. Thank you.
Are we abandoning the effort? This one? This one? Okay.
I'm sorry, thank you.
All right. Next, let's welcome our wonderful Mayor Abdullah Hamoud, who we not only credit for appointing and working alongside Chief Shahin to ensure Dearborn residents remain safe, or Dearborn remains a safe and thriving city, but who the residents of the city are immensely proud to have lead us and represent our heritage and values on the local and national stage. Let's have Mayor Abdullah Hamoud come up.
Good evening. Wassalamu alaikum. You hear the static because this is what happens when you do your electric work without a permit. You know, that one's gonna get me in trouble, I know. Before you all leave today, just given the officers we have present, I want to at least inform you on my behalf that if you do have windshields tinted, you're probably going to have a ticket on your windshield before you walk out, because we are cracking down on that, and all the officers are here for that reason. You know, we are blessed to be in the greatest community in the world. And we are the greatest community because of those who keep us safe each and every single day. And so I want to recognize the commanding staff. I want to recognize the heads of our unions, Jason and Eric. And thank you all and the officers for what you do each day and each night, knowing that you put your lives on the line, and that we as a community and as a city are committed to ensuring that you have what you need to come back home safe each and every single day. So thank you all. I know we're here to celebrate our police chief, but you can't talk about Issa without celebrating his family. So to his wife, to his children, to his brother, and to his father, who I have not had the privilege of meeting just yet. Ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you for being here. And you might love Issa, but that's because you haven't met his family yet. You're going to love them even more when you have the opportunity to meet with them. I want to go on record and say this is not a retirement party. I know there's going to spread so many rumors. Issa's not retiring. So to all those watching on Dearborn News, Dearborn.org, Bintish Bid, whatever the media page is, he's not retiring. So please don't send me your resumes. You will not be hired, God willing. I had the privilege of getting to know Issa now. It's been a little over 3 years. And I remember our first meeting together. I remember our interview distinctly. And for those who recall, when we won the mayorship, we assembled a transition team. And so it wasn't just I think we got a microphone. It wasn't just a one-on-one interview, but Issa actually interviewed before a team of 9 individuals. And all 9 individuals asked the tough questions. And although many individuals walked in that day with a feeling of whom they believed to be their favorite candidate for police chief, thank you so much, of who they believed to be their favorite police chief, after the conclusion of the interviews, it was unanimous across the transition team that there would only be one candidate to rise to the occasion, and that was Issa Shahin, to tell you just how well he excelled. Now, after 3 years, I can say that there hasn't been an incident that Dearborn has not faced these last 3 years. And I'm of the type that you hire great people and you allow them to do what they do best. I am not a police officer. I've never been through the academy. I'm not here to tell the commanders about how to deploy our officers or where to have our units, where to have undercover. I don't do that. I've never done that. But it's to have the confidence in a chief like Issa to surround himself with the best and for them to do what they have done for decades. And that's what we've been able to do. We announced record decreases in crime and some of the in major crimes. We have a 7% decrease overall. It would be 11% if not for Walmart and Target. We're going to do that later. We had 20% decreases in theft. If not for Ford, it would have been greater. We can get into those conversations. But these are things that we're proud of. And the reason we have this is because of the leadership of Issa Shahin, because of the officers, the men and women in uniform who go out each and every single day. What I have built with Issa over 3 years is not just trust, but truly it's a brotherhood between yourself and myself. And Zainab, who, you know, you're her favorite director. It's okay. I'm sorry to the rest of you. But it doesn't come without being tested. It's not easy to do what they do. Some of the the greatest challenges that we have as a city are what our officers are faced with each and every single day. But he has built and established trust and a line of communication with all of our residents. We just appointed our 13th chaplain across our city, police department, chaplains who they meet with on a frequent basis to convey messages to congregations across our city. He's always at Salah on Friday prayers. He's at the neighborhood association meetings on his own behalf. He launched a neighborhood policing officer model where you as a resident can have the direct line of communication with 3 of our officers to talk about issues that you're facing that might not require you calling 911 on any given day. But that comes from Issa's advocacy for his department each and every single day. It comes from the trust that we've built. And honestly, Issa, had you not been at the helm of this police department, I don't know if I would have been successful as we are today within the city of Dearborn, or if I would even consider a second term, if not knowing that you're here for us within that police department. I want you to know that. So with all that being said, I'm not giving anything to Issa today because people are going to think that I'm sending him off, and I'm not. You're mandated to say, I know how much longer your wife has to work before she gets to retire, so I'm trying to match the number of years. He let that go. He slipped up, so I'm holding him to that account. I'm not going to tell you all what that year is. But I thank you, not only as our police chief, but as an older brother who I look forward to, who I look up to, who there are many traits that you bring forward as a police chief, your demeanor, your calmness in moments of high alert, the way in which you navigate issues I have learned from. And so I thank you for being a mentor in that way. And I look forward to the years you have ahead, inshallah, at the police department before we say anything after that. So thank you, congratulations, and to all the officers, honestly, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Whatever you need, my door is always open to all of you, and I look forward to the work that we have yet to accomplish.
All right, we also have 2 members of the Dearborn Police Department, Lieutenant Jason Scazolas, who is a 24-year veteran of the Dearborn Police and president of the Lieutenants and Sergeants Union. He oversees our critical incident and community support unit. We also have Commander Tim McHale, who is a 23-year Dearborn Police veteran who oversees the entire investigative division and is president of the Command Officers Union. Both have had the privilege of working under Chief Shahin's leadership and can speak to his character and the impact he has had on the department.
Good evening. The chief actually has us do these events weekly in his honor. So, Chief, if you heard this before, please stop me. Okay. So, tonight we gather to recognize and honor a man who's dedicated 27 years of his life to serving and protecting our community. He's a leader, he's a visionary, and above all, he's a man who truly cares. Chief Issa Shahin is not just a public servant, he's a relentless advocate for the citizens he has sworn to protect. He's a champion for his officers, and he's a bridge between law enforcement and the people that he serves. Chief Shahin's career has been defined by his deep connection to the community, which many people in this room can attest to. He has built strong relationships with our places of worship, He ensures that our city is not just protected, but united. He has been a driving force behind technological advancements in the police department, making sure we stay ahead of the curve in innovation and efficiency. And when it comes to the well-being of his officers, he has led initiatives that prioritize their health, their safety, and the morale, because he knows that taking care of those who serve allows them to better serve others. Under his leadership, excellence has not been an aspiration, it's been an expectation. Whether it was founding a regional auto theft team that has put criminals on notice, or serving as a governor-appointed MCOLS commissioner, Chief Shahin has consistently raised the bar for law enforcement. But out of all of his accolades, his accomplishments, his achievements, his promotions and appointments, caring about people is without a doubt Issa's best quality. He cares about others. He cares about his officers, about the people of this city, about doing what is right. He will always tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Sometimes we don't. But when he makes a decision, you know it comes from a place of integrity, from wisdom, and from his unwavering commitment to doing the right thing. Chief Shahin, your leadership has left an indelible mark on this department and this community. Your dedication has made us stronger, it's made us safer, and it's made us better. And your legacy, one of service, innovation, and above all compassion, will continue to inspire us for years to come. On behalf of everyone here, thank you for your service, your leadership, and your commitment to the city. We are better because of you, and we are honored to stand with you tonight. Thank you.
That's later. Hello, everyone. Most of you know me. I'm Jason. I was introduced kindly. Thank you. I appreciate that. So good evening and welcome. First, thank you to the community, especially Shaker and Ali for putting this on. And thank you to the mayor for appointing Issa as our chief. We had a meeting about that 3 years ago. It was interesting. It's my distinct honor to stand before you today and recognize an exceptional individual, Chief Issa Shahin. Today we celebrate not only his outstanding leadership, but the unwavering qualities that define him as a person, a leader, a mentor, and a friend. Chief Shahin leads with compassion and integrity, two principles that have guided his career and shaped his legacy in law enforcement. It's not every day that you get to encounter a leader who consistently leads by example. He walks the walk, he doesn't only talk the talk. He's out there daily telling our officers that I can do it, you can do it, and he's pretty old. His commitment to upholding the highest standards of ethics, fairness, and respect have not only earned him the respect of his colleagues, but has also inspired countless others to follow in his footsteps. What truly sets Chief Shahin apart, however, is his unique approach to leadership. He's a mentor who prioritizes the growth and well-being of those around him. Throughout the years, I've had a privilege of working alongside of Chief Shahin, not only working for Chief Shahin. Both as a partner and as an employee, every day was interesting. During each phase, he has taught me something invaluable, whether it was guiding me through a difficult decision or helping me support my development as a leader in the department. Chief Shahin understands the importance of creating an environment where everyone feels included and heard. His leadership style fosters a sense of openness and encourages diverse perspectives, which in turn strengthens his team. The impact of Chief Shahin has had a great effect on my personal life as well. My personal growth cannot be overstated. He has helped shape me into a better person and a stronger leader, and I appreciate you for that. So today we celebrate Chief Shahin, not only for his excellence as a leader, but also the character and integrity he brings to every interaction. In law enforcement, it's very important to have a strong family support system. Deanna, you have exemplified what it means to be a true partner. Through challenges and demands of Issa's position, you have been a constant source of support, not only as a loving wife, but as a steady anchor that keeps the family together. The sacrifices you've made, the long hours, the emotional toll, yet you have handled it all with grace and compassion. Shia, Yusuf, and Amina, thank you for your understanding, your patience, and your love. It's no small feat to grow up in a family where your father's work requires so much of him. You've learned early on the importance of community support. The strength of a family can be measured by how they lift each other up, and you all embody that totally. So everyone, please join me in recognizing Chief Shahin. He's my brother, and he's my chief.
Thank you. All right, finally, we have Mr. Mansour Mashrah. I think I turned the mic off on accident. Mr. Mansour Mashrah, founder and board president of the Al Huda Islamic Association, to share a few words about our chief and his commitment to protecting places of worship.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessing of Almighty Allah be upon all of you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to mention a saying by our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he says, الذي لا يشكر الناس لا يشكر الله. Those who do not give gratitude and thanks to the creations, they are not in a position or in a state of giving gratitude and thanks to the Creator. That being said, I wanted to give my thanks to Brother Shakir Aoun and Brother Ali Jawad for bringing this beautiful gathering that I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it a blessed one. This is the kind of gatherings that we need in our blessed city of Dearborn, so we can get to know one another, so we can interact with one another. The city of Dearborn, believe it or not, to me, and I think it's to all of us here and most of us in the city of Dearborn, is the best city to live in the whole United States of America. Just recently, all over the news, and they already mentioned it, the mayor mentioned it, and it was mentioned that our city came close to be #1 in Michigan in lower crime rates. And I see that personally because I'm in the borderline of Dearborn and Detroit on the mosque on Lanyo and Warren. We see the presence of our police department. We say thank you to the men and women in uniform that is always active. Yesterday alone, when I was leaving the center after we closed, there was a Dearborn police officer sitting in our lot, and that made me feel so beautiful, so humble, and so safe in this beautiful city that we live in. I'm sure that you're going to hear this word beautiful a lot, and the only person in this crowd that's going to criticize me is Judge Susan Dabaja, because I mentioned it a lot when we were in the campaign, and then she kept saying, you say the word beautiful more than anything else. But that comes from the heart, with the passion. And that tells me how the city has been led by our chief of police, the staff that he has, all the task force that he have, but that doesn't come just from the air. He has to have something and someone behind him, like our Honorable Mayor Abdullah Hamoud, that gives him all of the support. That doesn't stop there, though. It raises from the ground up. It comes and it starts with us as residents. We have to cooperate, collaborate, support, and trying to work with the police department, trying to work with the city, trying to be vigilant, trying to always make our city safe. It is safe, but we want to keep it that way. When I was listening to the mayor of Sterling Heights, he was shaking and he was nervous. that we are right there, second place. We should have took first place, but inshallah, in God's will, that we will. But I want to share something with you before I end, and I don't want to take too much of everybody's time. Is when the firebomb that happened to Al-Huda Islamic Association on Warren and Lanyo back in 22. When the fire happened, they called me from the alarm company. I got up. Before I got there, when I got there, the police, Dearborn police was already there. It took them maybe 2 or 3 minutes to get to the center. The fire department was already halfway turning off the fire. You cannot ask for more than that in any other city. And you cannot find it in any other city but the city of Dearborn. Not even... It took about 5 to 7 minutes, and I kid you not, the mayor was there, Mayor Abdullah Hamoud. And we stood there, and it was very brutal, very cold. It was in February, in the middle of the winter. And we stood there, and we watched the fire, and we watched the fire department turning on the fire. And not even 15 minutes later, here comes the chief. And I say this, and I don't want anyone to give their chief a ticket, because it took him maybe less than 15 or 20 minutes to get to Al-Huda Islamic Association on Warren and Lanyo from Ann Arbor. And that shows the passion, the dedication, and the hard work, and the love for the city, for the community, for the residents. I just want to thank our mayor. I want to thank our chief, Issa Shahin. I want to thank all of the officials. And I want to thank our beloved, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Mr. Beydoun, Commissioner Beydoun is always there for everybody. And he's always there for the city. And we ask Allah to rest his father's soul in peace. Allah yarhamah. ويسكنه فسيح جناته آمين يا رب العالمين. So it's a collaborative effort. It's everybody's responsibility. It's not the mayors alone. It's not the chiefs alone. It's not our men and women in uniform. It's all of us that we have to work together. And we have to work hard. And we have to have some good dedication. We have to have motivation and enthusiasm in ourselves in order to build and make the city vibrant. It is already, and we make it to be beautiful and to stay secure. Thank you very much. God bless you all. God bless the city of Dearborn, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
At the heart of strong leadership is a deep sense of responsibility, knowing that the decisions that you make affect the lives of other people around you. Chief Shahin understands that responsibility. He carries it with such humility and beauty and grace and friendliness and professionalism and a clear commitment to public service. During his service for nearly 30 years at the Dearborn Police Department and under his leadership as Chief of Police, the department has evolved to meet the challenges of our community while staying rooted at the core values of protecting and serving. Chief Shahin has worked to modernize policing, foster community trust, and ensure that every resident, regardless of background, feels safe and heard. As the first Arab American and first Muslim police chief of our city, he has sent a powerful example of the value of representation in law enforcement. He's been public and intentional about ensuring law enforcement respects and understands the religious and cultural values of their community, further strengthening the bond between the department and the people it serves. Chief Shahin, on behalf of the hosts of tonight's event and the residents of our beautiful city of Dearborn, it's our honor to present you with a symbol of our appreciation in recognition of your service.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You know, I honestly,
I wanted to take a picture with you and the wife.
I definitely overachieved.
You just can't do that without her.
All right.
Shakir, Ali.
By the way,
Mike, Mike.
Tal, Diana. Thank you. Very generous. Thank you.
not a retirement.
No. I'm not going to announce my retirement. Don't worry. No, it's not long. It's going to be quick. All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. You know, I honestly don't do well with all of this. Honestly makes me really uncomfortable, believe it or not. I'm not comfortable with all of this attention. It's just not my style. When Osama, Ali Jawad, and Shaker called me and they said, "What are you doing Friday, January 31st?" I said, "What do you guys need?" They said, "We're throwing a little small get-together. We just need you to be there." I honestly told them that it's not necessary, to don't trouble themselves, and they said it's really not up to you. So we find ourselves here today like this. But again, thank you. I'm very, very flattered. I'm very humbled by everybody that's here today, and honestly, I never expected this when I started 27 years ago. You know, I was wondering whether I should wear my uniform or a suit, and I went back and forth, uniform or suit. And then I thought to myself, when I remembered wearing this uniform when I first started 27 years ago, how much pride I was filled with when I put this uniform on. When I put this badge on and I told people I was a police officer in Dearborn, I was beaming with pride. And I remembered, soon enough, at some point, Mayor, I'm going to retire. Not tomorrow, but at some point I'm going to retire and I won't be able to wear this uniform anymore. If I put it on to go to a party, it'd be really weird once I retire. So while I can still wear this uniform and probably be the chief of this police department, that's what I'm going to do. Before I get started, I have the privilege of honoring someone else who is truly remarkable, Haj Abe Dabaja. Haj Abe started in 1988. He started in 1988, 10 years before I did. He continues to proudly serve this community today for nearly 37 years. Now, his dedication, his resilience, and commitment have paved the way for so many of us at the Dearborn Police Department. When I started my career in 1998, there was 5 Arab Americans on the police department in a 200-person force. There was Jimmy Ferris, Mo Barrow, Fuad Makbil, Haj Abe Dabaja, and myself. Haj Abe was the trailblazer. His leadership and his service have set an extraordinary example for us all. And tonight we celebrate him as a pillar of our department and our community. Haj Abe, please come up here. Come on up here.
I'm just going to say a few words about Haj. I think I'm the 4th mayor.
Yeah.
The 4th mayor that Haj has been the personal detail to. I can't tell you how amazing it is, first and foremost, to go out in the community and people approach him because the way I dress thinking he's the mayor. It's the best part about the job. That's why I always dress down, because he'll get the complaints and I'll just walk away as it's happening. On a serious note, I'll never forget when I was first elected that members of this community approached me asking, are you going to keep Haj Abe Debaja as the personal detail towards the mayor? And it wasn't even a question. And I say that because I'm somebody who had the privilege of growing up amongst his sons. And if you know anything about his sons, you know just what true gentlemen they are. About their trusted brothers of mine who I've grown up alongside with, I know how they carry themselves. And if that is how their children are, imagine the parents that raised them. And so when they asked me who was going to stay at the side of the mayor, there was no better individual than Haj Ibrahim Debaja. And that's the way that I would always keep it. So on behalf of the whole city, he's also not allowed to retire. That's not a retirement party either. I want to be very specific about this. So.
Thank you. Haj, I love you, brother. I will, okay. This just isn't a gathering, but this is a reflection of our community spirit. One rooted in connection, collaboration, and mutual support. Alhamdulillah, I feel so truly blessed to be with all of you here today. I also want to take a moment again to thank you, Mayor Abdullah Hamoud, and Chief of Staff Zainab Hussein, for your support of public safety in our police department. Mayor Hamoud, thank you for selecting me to be your police chief and having trusted me to lead this department. Your vision and support make all of our work possible. Looking around the room, I see so many familiar faces, neighbors, colleagues, and friends who have supported not just me, but the entire police department. Over 27 years ago, I've been with this department. Your trust has been our foundation, and your partnership has been our strength. I'd like to share a little bit about my journey real quick, not just as chief of police, but as a member of this incredible community. My story, like so many others in Dearborn, is one of family, resilience, and gratitude. I couldn't have asked for better parents. My late mother, may God rest her soul, taught me the value of patience and empathy. My father, who immigrated to this country from Egypt in 1969 with $5 in his pocket, found a job at Ford Motor Company. Less than 2 months later, with no family, limited English, he suffered a catastrophic injury, losing a good part of his left arm at work. Despite this, he worked tirelessly for 38 more years, enduring discrimination and racism, to ensure a better life for his family. He taught me the importance of hard work and that a man's word was his bond. Thank you, Dad, for everything. To my family, I've been incredibly blessed with 3 wonderful children. She is a pre-med student at U of M Ann Arbor. Yusuf is an engineering student at Eastern Michigan University, and Amina is a sophomore in high school. Truly, my greatest accomplishment is raising you with your wonderful mother and watching you grow into responsible and compassionate adults. Now to my wonderful wife, Deanna, a strong, proud Palestinian woman. From the moment we met, her radiant spirit and infectious laughter captivated me. She's not just the love of my life, but the foundation of our family, the guiding star in our darkest moments, and really, truly the cheerleader of our greatest pursuits. To Sharif and Adam, my 2 younger brothers, thank you for always having my back. And to Deanna's 9 brothers and sisters, they're seated there at that table, a number of them. You've accepted me as the 11th sibling. Thank you for embracing me fully as a member of your family. Now, to my brothers and sisters in blue, it's been my greatest honor to work beside all of you. Your dedication goes beyond just simply wearing the badge. You are truly the heartbeat of our department. It's in the way that you approach each challenge. Your compassion, integrity, and genuine desire to make a difference is what matters. You are the heartbeat again of this department. Thank you for all that you do. You've made us a leader in community-focused policing, and it has a lot less to do with me and everybody here that wears this uniform. Thank you, guys. When I joined the department, Dearborn's Arab American population was nearly 50%. Yet less than 3% of our police force reflected the community that we served. The department was not always welcoming to people who were different. Today, the Dearborn Police Department is the department that I wish I worked for when I first started my career. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves, with 45% of our officers being Arab American, most of whom were born and raised right here in Dearborn. It's a department that respects the dignity and rights of all individuals, including the right to wear a hijab, even when facing the justice system. It's a department that is taking meaningful steps to address historical inequities, cutting in half the number of African Americans being stopped by police. And yet, we've simultaneously reduced crime and improved traffic safety by focusing on the violations and not the violator. It's a department that values its employees as much as the community it serves. We understand that to build trust and foster strong, meaningful relationships with our community, we must first cultivate those values internally. When we take care of our officers, when they feel supported and respected and empowered, they perform at their best, which benefits everyone in Dearborn. Finally, in closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone here tonight. When I started 27 years ago, I never imagined that one day the community would honor me with such a wonderful evening. Every corner of this great city is filled with amazing people, and I'm humbled to see so many familiar faces here tonight, many of whom have been my friends for over 2 decades. Thank you for your support and for making this evening so special. The journey has not always been easy, but it's been worth every challenge. Together, we've built a police department that values diversity, equity, and respect, one that serves all of Dearborn with honor and integrity. Thank you for your trust, your support, and your belief in the journey to a better tomorrow. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm proud to serve as your chief of police, and I look forward to continuing this journey with all of you. Have a wonderful evening.